All right. Enter passes his first town, is in a really weird situation with five uh, five water tiles on his first city
Wow.
with the zero.
Saying it's definitely gonna be a wall type of map. Two tiles of water. So there. He also has some fruit.
Since there's zero fish in those five tiles right around the city, he can expect to have at least one, maybe even two whales in there, right?
So if they're dark blue tiles, I think that there's a 33% chance that it's a whale. I could be wrong on that. It might be also different in some different patches. There may be a patch coming. As a discussion, but in beta test, whales aren't spawning in tiles right next to cities anymore. Just in deep water tiles. Very different. I'm sure they're going to keep.
But it's two fruits, five water, and that we don't know what farm.
Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that.
I'm not supposed to be commentating, but I just want to butt in. Imperius starts with organization, so if there were farms, he would be able to see them because
You're
organization unlocks the ability to see farms.
You're absolutely right. Thanks for that that comment.
I'm not looking at interp screen. Does he have any mountains?
He has, but there's none in the tiles to his. As I said, fruits, five water, and one land tile that has nothing on it. So that's one of the worst starting position I've ever seen for a player.
Yeah, really.
And as you said, I think the whales can only go into deep water. Did that change?
That's the case. So pewq passes on, and he actually had enough there that he was able to make an early ride. Bit of a weird choice. Water. Have many other resources as well.
And so far, Interp only found one other city. He's gonna get that third one, but it doesn't look. It won't be easy for him this time.
He was kind of doing a similar strategy of taking a lot of time to plan out these early moves. And we could see it actually kind of pays off a little bit in when he took an explorer and found two ruins on that left side. So weird for pewq. Not a lot of cities around. Definitely a big water map, but he definitely has the opportunity to get some ruins. I'm not exactly sure, but he moved his warrior, or he moved his rider, which was in his capital, seemingly back away from ruins and cities. I'm not sure if he is maybe thinking that he might want to defend his warrior in case if he thinks that interp is on the east side, or he might be seeing something that I don't, which is often the case with some of these best players. Personally, though, I think I would have moved my rider down towards either of those different ruins.
All right, interp is forced to research sailing. I don't know if my screen froze or is just pondering his options right now.
I think it might have froze. I have it on a pewq screen right now. If anybody else is watching with good internet connection, if they want to confirm that at any point. But I have that pewq just sent his turn back to interp.
All right, so I'm back to interp's turn. He's at
So
5 stars per turn. He only sees 2 cities, and I don't even know how he can see more.
that's kind of similar to what's going on with pewq right now here too. But pewq seems to be kind of throwing everything on the east side, kind of maybe expecting there to for interp to be over there, not knowing that he's in the north side. But it's also probably the safest place to put all of your units.
Yeah, they're going to meet on the right side, probably next turn. And if this game doesn't go on the maritime sea side of things, on the water, I will be very disappointed. Feels like the perfect game to do a naval warfare.
It looks like pewq is not really investing at all in that side of things. It'll be interesting to see what they start to do when they get some more turns. Imperius is a little bit more flexible mid game than some other tribes because of their turn 0 advantage with getting that first workshop. He's going to need to make that decision next turn, though, because he's going to be getting that city. And he hasn't gotten either ruin yet.
Interp finally sees a third city.
pewq about to capture his third city. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to do for tech here. He can always go for fishing. And he can not go hunting forestry here because he's just one resource short. And he could always go for roads and start making those connections, but
Interp made a port, so next round he's going to go in the water.
that's going to be big because pewq looks like he's still far away from water. He would have to really invest in fishing before he captures this third city if he wants to have any chance there.
How far right is pewq? Is he even close to
So it looks like he's just about right from the east tile. He's right about the middle on that bottom right corner of the diamond.
All right, so they're going to meet next turn.
And he decides to claim the city.
So is that 3
upgrade
cities?
it with a workshop. So he's investing heavily in economy right now.
Interps in the water. Moves in to get that third city next turn. Is he going to build? Is he going to tech or build more warriors? That's the big question right there.
I feel like on larger maps, I typically rely a lot on having a lot of naval units out there, especially if I'm playing with somebody who potentially has shields like Imperius because they start with organization or Quetzali. But on tiny maps, it's a completely different game. You maybe don't have as many water tiles to separate yourself. So that'll be an interesting decision from interp.
All right, he saved stars to get a tech next turn. He sees the huge difference in score, 500 score difference.
500 score difference, but definitely really counteracting technologies to start off. Riders might not be the worst thing to defend with tiny lakes. Maybe you can bounce off some boats, kind of stay out of their range a little bit. but that would be kind of a bold strategy. It's always lakes, so you can always work your way around the sides as well, but there's a mountain blocking him on the west side.
Yep, I think they're on each side of the mountain on this side, just waiting.
And he passes the turn back to interp. So
interp sees a lot of the borders now. He moved his boat forward.
And pewq can see that boat, so pewq is either going to get a technology, maybe fishing, or some resources from interp next turn.
So interp buys hunting, gets his third town, and passes the turn.
So interp, with a lot of time, has about 14 minutes. pewq, spending a little bit more time on its decisions, has about 11.
Yeah, interp didn't have a lot of decisions to make. It was pretty straightforward.
So here, actually, it looks like pewq has a little bit of an opportunity to maybe hit that boat, bounce off a little bit. It'll be interesting to see if he does that or if he goes northwest to that top corner. By the way, he got fishing, so he is possibly able to move over and do the maritime part of the game a little bit, but he'll still need to invest in sailing and a port. And he is going to bounce off this boat a little bit. And he's probably going to try to stay out of range so that he doesn't give interp any free stars or tech. And he also probably wants to keep that rider alive in case he can either turn it into a veteran or maybe disband it later if he goes into free spirit.
With only one boat in the water, I don't see how interp could actually kill that warrior. The screen froze again. All right, I'm back in.
So now it's back to interp. pewq just passed off his turn. Very interesting plays from pewq. It looks like he's going to have 21 stars next turn, and he already has a shield up in his capital. So I think he's going to be able to make a port and get that first shield out. So shield boats, very, very strong, especially on this tiny map. I'm not sure if that's up. Or I'm not sure if interp is going to be able to make shields at all.
All right, so interp makes the explorer. The explorer reveals not a lot of things. He can only see that right city with the two riders. So he didn't get a lot of information from that explorer.
Difference in score here is interesting too because we're going to see a little bit of a boost with some technology getting bought next turn. But you said that interp has 3 cities on his side. Oh, that's going to help. A ruin just gave pewq +3 population in his capital. So he's going to be able to upgrade it and either decide to expand those borders, which can be really, really helpful in a naval fight, or he's going to be able to do a population and get a giant possibly fairly soon.
pewq still hasn't seen any cities from interp, though. He has no clue how the other side of the map looks like.
He can see his borders, so he can maybe start to draw a mental picture of where these cities could be. He knows where that top right city is because he can tell that those borders haven't been expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, he's probably relying mostly on score to figure out what's going on. You need to be careful here because you can buy sailing for 10 and put that boat out, but you're leaving your capital open. So I think he's going to wait to do that next turn.
What's in his capital? Is it the defender?
Yep. So right now he looks like right now he's debating, and he moves his rider forward
Bounce.
to take a hit, and he sees that top right city.
All right. The timer for pewq must be running very low compared to interps right now, right?
Yeah, interp is at 12 minutes, and pewq is just over 9. So a 3-minute difference there. If interp, can really force the issue, really force kind of the stalemate here for a little bit. And he passes it back, and pewq is at exactly 9 minutes. Interp is at 11:40, counting down.
Oh, big move from interp. He gets climbing.
Oh yeah, and you can see him move onto that mountain on that west side.
So he's trying to put pressure on both sides. He's going for that ruin that pewq hasn't seen yet at the extreme right.
Right. Passes it back fast, still has 11 minutes. pewq is at 9.
pewq has a lot of stars right now.
He has a lot of stars. He has a lot of units. That is the advantage that you get in kind of expanding first and investing in water a little bit later. Imperius is definitely more flexible there. When you take water first, you really want to try to control water. And that can be a little tough on a tiny map, but it can also be really useful if you get it. So I'm not sure, does interp have other units out in the water that pewq can't see right now?
Interp has 2 units in the water, one boat that has 4 health and the other one that has 10 health.
Right, so he might need a little bit more.
So he doesn't really control the water. If pewq goes in the water right now, he has a chance of.
And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It looks like pewq is debating here right now. He's going to be able to make a giant if he has the stars. It's going to be if he wants to make some other units or not. Looks like he's frustrated that he can see that ruin now, but he's not going to be able to do anything about it.
Let's hope for pewq that it's not a giant, and let's hope for interp that it is a giant. Because at this point of the game, it's going to be a really strong one.
I think pewq is trying to look to see if he can maybe put a defender out pushing, but it looks like he is only going to be able to make units for this turn, and then he's going to most likely be making his giant next turn.
Oh, so it's 3 pops in the capital from the ruins.
That's always helpful.
It's helpful, but it's also not at the same time, because he cannot do a lot of things with those 3 pops. He's 1 away from making a level 4 city. It's a very awkward position.
Awkward position, but pewq is at about 7 minutes. So we'll kind of see how this one progresses on the time too. From pewq's screen, there's a lot of clouds, so he's probably going to be playing fairly cautiously. You never know if there's going to be a giant battleship out there. But it looks like he has control. Is there any way for interp to make a giant battleship, or is that not on his board?
It's
You said he had
possible.
no resources.
Yeah, he makes 11 stars per turn and has 3 boats in the water now. So he's pretty far from getting that battleship.
and pewq makes his first giant. He also is most likely going to be moving a defender into the water. The reason why he might be waiting for that, for any viewer who might be a little confused, you definitely want to get your defenders into the water as soon as possible. But he's kind of looking into the clouds right now, and he doesn't know what he is facing. If there is something like a ship out in the clouds, if a ship hits a defender in a boat, it can knock it down, I think, to 9 off the first shot, 9 or 10. But if the defender is on land, I think it can only bring it down maybe to 12. So that's probably why he's keeping it on land for now. And then oh, nope, he moves it in. I stand corrected.
Well, he has one exposed and the other one is in the water.
Yep, exactly. He'll probably just kind of like use that to move his boat out, get some vision before he puts his giant in.
Oh, I feel like
and he ended his turn. pewq is going to have to play this last part fast. He has all the pieces that he needs, I think, but he does have 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, pewq is in a very good position. Interp still cannot get that battleship that we were talking about earlier.
At this point, knowing that I have 9 minutes, he probably doesn't know that pewq is 5, but if I was interp, I'd be taking my time looking at every option to potentially make a giant battleship. If that's not in the game, then it's going to be really tough. Some stuff that you kind of need to look for when you forget, if you don't have enough population, you can always look for a gate of power. That's an extra 3 population that comes from destroying 10 opponents' units. And, there are a lot of horses out there, or a lot of riders, so you can, get some, you can't get the gate of power if you want. You can also invest in random technologies like meditation and get an altar of peace if you don't attack. So sometimes, your only play to get a giant might be to take a few turns of attacking off and then get your 3 population that way. I'm not sure if there's really any way that interp's going to be able to do it, though.
Doesn't feel like it's interp's plan. He will be able to get a battleship next turn if he wants to, but he's going to have to use all the stars. So all the stars that he saved plus the 11 stars that he gets. If he gets 11.
And it's just going to be a 10 health battleship, right?
Yep. It will be 10 health.
pewq actually plays a really, really good play. He pushes out a horse with a giant, which he's then able to move up an extra tile to attack the top right city. So now he's actually going to be able to go and siege that city with his veteran when he wouldn't have been able to before. And so that's actually a really, really good play. For anybody who didn't know that you could do that, if you have a unit in your city and you push it out at the beginning of your turn, that unit can still move and then can still attack after moving. So it's something that really good players like pewq you'll see exploit in these types of situations.
Was he 100% sure that the rider would bounce out of the city that way?
So looking at it, if you are assuming that it's going to go middle and then clockwise after, it would first go to that spot where his 4 warriors taking up.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a chance that if he didn't make the warrior in that city, if he moved it there the turn before from a different spot, we can look at the recording after. If he moved it from diagonally bottom left, it goes in the direction that you are moving that rider. So if you move hypothetically north into a city, boost it out the next turn after, it'll keep moving north.
I see.
So it could have been either of those two.
Interp successfully defended his 3rd city. He's going aggressive on the defender in the water, but I don't think he can kill it. and he passes the turn with a lot of stars in bank.
So he might be saving up, maybe trying to get a battleship. I hope that he potentially is thinking about pewq's time, because pewq is down to 4 minutes and will really need to make some big moves to do this in time. But he does have the pieces. It's just how fast he is able to do it.
That decision to take his boat out of the water and bring it back on land, his defender, how good of a plan was it?
So I'm not exactly sure. I think he might have been forced in that situation a little bit sooner than he wanted to. He passes his turn off with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. I think he would describe it as a play that he didn't want to do, that he was kind of forced into. His other option would be to just leave it out and die.
All right, that's Interp's first giant right there.
So he's got a giant. He has navigation, the ability to make a battleship. If he holds off for a few more turns, it seems like he might be able to get one out.
Is he gonna get walls in that third city? No, he gets stars. Pretty bold move, considering that pewq is gonna have to go through that third city to get to the capital. Oh, he needed the stars to upgrade his boats.
Mm-hmm. Well, he definitely has control of water now.
Yeah.
Question is, can he keep it? For pewq, the question is, can I up and interp?
Wow,
Looks like
that's
he's going
an
to port block.
aggressive.
Normally, I would say it's a really good play, especially if there's a defender in a city that you want to try to block from getting out. But if I am pewq here and I see the amount of stars I'm going to have next turn, I am likely trying to move my giant into that port spot, kill that ship, and upgrade it. So, yep. And he's going to upgrade to a ship. He doesn't have enough for a battleship yet, but that's fine. His ship won't take too much damage this turn. Unless if... Oh, that helped.
How did he get it? He chopped
Yeah, so he chopped and he made his battleship, and he's going to pass on in his turn. Oh, no, yep. And he's going to pass off his turn. So very quick turn there. Going from about 3:30 just to about 3:10. And interp has about 5.5 minutes.
So Interp's attacking that giant on the extreme right, trying to hurt him as much as he can.
Yeah, those hits add up, and giants move pretty slowly if they don't have roads under them. So eventually you can take them out before they get to you.
Oh, Interp cannot even make battleships. He doesn't even have the technology for it. I didn't even notice.
Oh, he doesn't have navigation. Oh, if he doesn't have navigation, then I think that pewq is really going to have a good time with that giant battleship that he's got.
Yep.
And let's see if he moves it up. Stays off the land.
Attacks
and is that his capital that he has sight
of? The capital is right behind the giant.
Right. So he probably knows that he's low on time. It looks like he's playing pretty fast. And it looks like he's kind of trying to give up on that right side a little bit. He knows that it's not his capital. He knows he needs to end it. So he's passing it off quickly. Has about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Also, he can see that if he gets 2 more
is that a resign?
kills, then gets the gate of power.
Resign from Interp. That's GG.
Wow. I wonder if he was able to see how much time pewq had. I wonder if he was... It would have been close, but I think pewq still would have been able to get it done in the next 2 minutes. Or 2.5 minutes. What definitely hurt Interp there at the end, and what he probably resigned on was his giant getting hit by that battleship, because he knows that even if he moved it into the water, it was going to get hit again.
All right, so these were two really interesting games. Both players have been undefended, and I'd love to have some insight from you guys, if you're willing to do so.
It looks like they're talking in the chat as well.
So we're gonna get insight from the chat.
Here, I will.
Really good games. I feel like Interp's position in the second game was so bad. Getting those 5 water tiles with no fish in it really hurts the early game.
Interp saying he's not sure how pewq got so many techs. Well, it definitely helped that Interp gave him fishing, but also he kind of landed in the middle a little bit with his cities and had some ruins in his back corner that he was able to use, I think, to get, if I remember right, shields and potentially some stars that helped him go there as well.
So are they talking in League stream chat?
So they're talking in the staff stream,
Staff stream.
chat. Okay. I'll ask them to move over to the league.
No, it's good. Yep, very well played. Both players have shown a lot of skills in these games. This was really interesting, and I'm really happy to have been there with you, Smurf. Just for further reference, I got an info that next time we should give time warnings at 5 and 2 minutes. I know both players were looking at the clock, so I don't think it hurt any of these guys. But for further games, that's what's required from us.
Definitely, no, that's a good point.
Yep, Interp says he couldn't have won the second game even with no mixed mistakes. The way his starting position was really, really scuff.
Interesting. He's saying with mathematics, he think he could have won that first game. I wasn't looking on his side of the board. I don't know if he had the lumber spots to work with that. I thought the forge was a great play there because I thought he had a lot of ore. I think I saw level 3 forge in that middle city.
He didn't have that many lumber spots. I think he's talking more about catapults, maybe for the first game.
Yeah, you can definitely use catapults, but if you're not using your spots resourcefully, it is hard to have the resources and the economy to be able to produce enough catapults. But late game, he probably could have done it there too. I'm going to turn off my microphone. Great game to both players. Great commentating with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Smurf. And can you give us a little insight about who you are, what you do, just before you leave?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a student studying in America. I am a computer science and physics student, but discovered this game when it first came out. Actually, back in 2017. Played single player perfection back when I didn't have anybody to play with and everything. Quarantine happened. Got back into phone games a little bit more. Found this one again and started playing multiplayer, and was really surprised about the levels of skill that exist in the multiplayer community. And so since then, I've been playing mostly in the Facebook 1v1 league, but just joined Poly Champions and got drafted by the Mallards. So hopefully I'll play a few games with the Drakes, and we'll see how we do.
Do you plan on playing on Poly Live or just commentating with us?
So I want to play in season 1, potentially, a bunch of test games too. So I do have real interest in playing in the first season. We'll see how the spots look. We'll see how everything develops. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in being a player. You can probably find me sometimes on here looking for some random live games.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have you in the team, Smurf, and thanks a lot. That was really fun commentating with you. You really helped me understand what was going on.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no, thanks
guys.
so much. You did a great job. Thanks.